You now join Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in the 40-year history of the NBA to win the league's MVP award 3 years in a row.
3 players in NBA history have won the MVP award 3 times in a row. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and Larry Bird. It's been 36 years since Bird last climbed this Mount Everest, but here we are in 2022 and Jokic is gearing up. Jokic won the MVP pretty clearly in 2021 and then again in 2022. Even though Embiid could have won it, the advanced stats love him, and we all know that if you took Jokic off the Nuggets this year, that they wouldn't even be able to tread water. While, like I said, if you have someone like Joel Embiid making a case for it, the value Jokic possesses is almost like LeBron James-esque in 2008, where it's just the fans all know if he wasn't there, there would be zero success for this franchise. And that's not a slight on the current Nuggets, it's just that they were very banged up last year. The 2022 Denver Nuggets will be deadly to face this year, and there's no doubt in my mind about that. The problem with Jokic's MVP case last year, even though he won, was that the Nuggets sat at a not so impressive 6th seed. This year, MPJ and Jamal Murray will be returning, and I think they could easily finish in the top 3. This would help his MVP case a lot. Not only are Jamal and Michael back, but they picked up Bruce Brown and KCP this offseason. Both are great rotational pieces. If you guys watched the Nets get swept by the Celtics last year and you weren't crying through the whole thing, then you would know that Bruce was one of the only light spots for that Nets team. I mean, I'm pretty sure in one of the games he actually went off for 30 points. I could be wrong, and that could have been a play-in game, but if it's right, you'll see it on the screen somewhere. Bruce is like one of those PJ Tucker guys where he plays way bigger than his size and his heart and height, and he just leaves it all out there on the floor every single night. As for KCP, he'll definitely probably be having a more efficient 3-point shooting season, being in that system, around Jokic. KCP, I've seen him in the last 3 years. He's been in the lab with Lethal Shooter. If you guys don't know who that is, he's probably the best shooting coach. He works with a lot of NBA players and teams. But like I said, Jokic will be spoon feeding him open looks as long as he's willing to move without the ball. So if the Nuggets finish top 3 in the West and Jokic averages around the same numbers as last year, that should be enough for him to win MVP, right? Well, no. Unfortunately, there's something that is often forgot about: voters fatigue. Voters fatigue, for people who don't know, is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's people getting tired of voting for the same people or same winners over and over again. We see this happens in all aspects of basketball awards, not just the MVP voting. Take the 2017 through 2019 Warriors, for example. After they won their first ring, the wow factor of the super team was over, and everyone wanted nothing more but then to just see them lose. Then they take a year off, deal with a bunch of injuries, retool a little bit, and come back, make the finals against the Celtics, and win. And everyone loves them and is very proud of Steph Curry. So you can really see how the narrative and timing plays an effect on the voters' verdict. The MVP is as much of a narrative award as it is a statistical award. Luckily for Jokic, the narrative loves him almost as much as the advanced stats absolutely love him and the way that he plays the game. I'm going to put the advanced stats on the screen right now with a little key that'll show what the abbreviations or acronyms mean. You can just pause the video and take a second to read them, and then we're going to talk about them. So for starters, this first one's just mind-blowing to me. Him breaking Wilt's PR record is someone that no one thought ever would happen. I remember seeing it a little bit on some NBA Twitter that people were posting it like 60 games into the season, like, damn, Jokic is really about to break Wilt's record. And the same thing goes for LeBron's BPM record. You guys heard me compare Jokic to LeBron earlier in this video, that 2008 season. I mean, you guys can see the value both of them clearly bring. Also, I think it's worth noticing the ones that he didn't beat, the difference in each of those categories going forward from him and the person who has the first place or leading stat, it isn't very far. He's 1.13 away from Steph, 1.03 away from Nate McMillan, and 2.66 away from Michael Jordan. The point of bringing up the closeness is that Jokic still has the time and talent to break some of these records. If he does just that while averaging similar stats to last season and finishing top 3 in the West, I could really see the media eating that up. I know I said that voters' fatigue is a big part of this, but if Jokic can manage to continue to put records in front of people's face, they will vote for him, and rightfully so. History plays a big part in the MVP voting and MVP winners narrative, and breaking records is making history. Take Russell Westbrook's MVP season for example. He was an inefficient 6th seed on a team that everyone knew would have no success in the postseason, and that's not a slight to Westbrook, it's just how it was. However, he averaged a triple-double for the first time since Oscar Robertson did it in 1962, and the media ate that up. You could not scroll on a media platform without seeing that in a headline or a tweet or whatever. So if Jokic can continue to break records throughout the season and impress people, the media will always be pressing him and always be talking about him, and then people will start to notice, damn, this guy can win 3 MVPs in a row, maybe we should vote for him, ultimately flipping the narrative of voters' fatigue by blinding them with undeniable success. The way Jokic plays ball should be inspiring to a lot of hoopers out there. He's also a great guy off the court, just like the 3 people I talked about in my video about how the future of NBA is in good hands. If you guys haven't seen that, I would check it out. It's a super cool concept. The Nuggets have a lot of potential this year, and Jokic should be able to craft out a very solid case for MVP. It's just going to be so hard for people to not vote for guys like Joel or Giannis or Luka or maybe Anthony Davis, you know, a little dark horse pick, throw that in there, because everyone wants to see something new happen. Whether Jokic makes history this year completing the MVP 3P or not, I think he's done already enough to solidify himself as a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's only been in the league 6 years, so that's just a testament of how much I respect this guy and I respect his game and what he does for the game and the people around him. Seeing as he's already won MVP twice, there shouldn't be any pressure or expectations coming into this season, which is your best friend. You never want to be living in your own head worrying about if you're living up to the standard of other people. I think Jokic knows exactly where he sits in the upper echelon of the talent in today's NBA. If you guys like this video, please be sure to leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all the support you've been showing recently. Peace.